this segment, we will show you a few more ideas that you can use with the antique stains. These techniques are called resisting. In other words, we apply a product to selected parts of our design that will remain light in color after the antique is applied. Here are a few products that we're going to use to do the resisting. This one here is called Super Sheen, and it's a clear acrylic finish. This one is especially made for this purpose. It's called Block Out. We're also going to use several colors of acrylic paint or acrylic dye. I will pour some of the Super Sheen into the cap. I like to do that. It's easier to handle the Super Sheen. And then with a nice brush, I will begin to paint just the border. Notice that I'm going only on the border. I'm very careful not to get onto the basket weave part of the belt. This is important because every place we put this resist, when we apply the antique, it will remain light. And every place that we miss with this that we want to remain light, that will turn dark. So we have to be very careful and paint this only where we want to have it. In this case, it's this scalloped border. I've got another piece of belt here, and what I'll do with that is I will paint the middle. On the other one I painted just the border. On this one I will paint just the center section. And when we put the antique on, you'll see that in this case the center section will remain light and the border will get darker. On this piece I'm going to do several things. One, I'm going to take some of the acrylic dye, or the Eco-flo as we call it. I'm going to paint the petals of this flower. And now I will take some of the yellow Eco-flo dye, or Eco-flo color, and I will put it on the center part of this flower, or the seed pod. And now I will apply some green to the leaves. And now I'm back to my Super Sheen, and in this case I'm going to be putting it inside the border, and you'll notice I have some initials on here. I'm not going to paint the initials. I'm going to paint around those initials so that when I apply the antique, the initials will darken, but the areas around them will not. So we'll very carefully paint everything on here except the border and the initials. Yes, we will paint the flowers and the leaves. This will seal those and prevent the antique from doing any penetrating there. By the way, I did allow my Eco-flo color to dry thoroughly before I painted the Super Sheen on it. And now we can put all of our pieces aside to dry, and then we'll apply our antique stain. I have allowed my resist to dry. It's a good idea to make sure it's good and dry by leaving it overnight. And now I'll apply some of the highlighter, in this case with the dauber. And as you can see, it goes on real heavy. And I'm making sure that it's down in all the impressions. Now, I'll take a piece of paper towel and wipe, and as you can see, it comes off the center part and stays nicely on the borders. Now we will do the same thing to this piece. If you'll remember, here we resisted the outside but not the middle. So let's see what kind of results we get from that. Again, I'm putting it on very liberally and making sure it gets down in all the tool impressions and cuts, if any. And then once again, I take a pad of paper towel, and now you can see the nice effect. Now let's take this other piece here where we use the Cova color and the resist. If you recall, we did not resist the initials. So here again, we put it on very heavy. Making sure we get down in all the tool impressions. And then with our paper towel, we wipe. As you can see, we get a real nice effect. And notice that our initials are standing out, as is our flower.